Shalom, 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 Israel. I want to start this by giving all honor, all glory, and all praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Bahakwadash. To this word so ignorantly calls God and Jesus Christ and the Holy Spirit in the ancient Paleo-Hebrew tongue. I want to give double honors to the elder of the men of Israel camp, Elder Kazak, who teaches well, who rules well. I want to give double honors to the elders across the four corners of the globe, starting with GMS, with Elder Tahar on down. I want to give salutations to the brothers of the hopeful elect. I want to give a shout out to the brothers that are among the speckled bird, causing confusion among the heathen. To all y'all brothers, I like to say shalom. Now the name of this video is going to be the curse of leprosy, okay? Or we'll just call it leprosy, all right? All right, because Esau took leprosy and put his little spin on the name and called it vitiligo. But vitiligo is leprous, man. Vitiligo is leprous, man. And I'm gonna bring this up right here. All right, I typed in definition of vitiligo. All right, and then went to images. All right, this is leprous, man. This is leprous. Yeah, all of this is leprous, man. This is leprosy, bro. You know, man. Look at this guy. Yeah, bro, this is leprosy, man. They're a curse, man. They're a curse, bro. You know. Your skin losing its melanin or pigmentation, man, is a curse from the Lord. That's why Esau's skin is a curse, man. You know, he can't survive in the sun. He can't survive in the sun, man. Yeah, but Esau took leprosy and made it into vitiligo. You know what I'm saying? Well, we can't let him know that like, now look, symptoms of leprosy. You see that? Patches of discolored, pale, red, thick, stiff, swollen, or numb skin. See, talking about sores on the bottom of your feet, weakness or paralysis, enlarged nerves, vision or loss, other eye issues. How the hell is that leprous? Losing vision is leprous? Come on, man. Red or purple nodules or lumps. Come on, this is how stupid Esau is. Loss of eyebrows or eyelashes. You know, they're just Esau, man. Just trying to. Esau just want to be perfect, man. That's why they made the so-called term white. When you look it up, it's white and pure, you know, just beautiful, you know. And that's why they deem themselves white and they call us black, because they see us as fucking dirt, man. They see us as nothing, right? All right? Okay, so let's get into the scriptures on this here, all right? We will first go to Leviticus 14. All right, start at 1. All right. Oh, no, it's not 14. No, is it 13? Yeah, 13. Okay. All right. And Yahweh spake unto Moses and Aaron, saying, when a man shall have in the skin of his flesh a rising, a scab, or a bright spot, and it be in the skin of his flesh like the plague of leprosy, then he shall be brought to Aaron the priest, or unto one of his sons the priest, and the priest shall look upon the plague of the skin of the flesh, and when the hair in the plague is turned white, and the plague in sight be deeper than the skin of his flesh, it is the plague of leprosy. Okay? It is a plague of leprosy. The priest shall look on him. Okay, so what this is saying is if when the hair in the plague is turned white and the plague is deeper than the skin of the flesh, it is the plague of leprosy. You know, so when it's down to the flesh, and just like how you seen the vitiligo, just like that, you know, that's the plague of leprosy. Okay, all right. Yeah, we might name the video the plague of leprosy, kind. All right. And the priest shall look on the plague in the skin of the flesh, when the hair in the plague is turned white, and the plague in sight be deeper than the skin of his flesh, it is a plague of leprosy, right? Because when you got all those spots on you, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're melanated people, you know. So when you got all them white spots on you, and it's not a scab, that's leprous, man. Which Esau calls vitiligo, and that's a damn lie. Okay? All right. It is a plague of leprosy, and the priest shall look on him and pronounce him unclean. If the bright spot be white in the skin of his flesh, and in the sight be not deeper than the skin, and the hair thereof be not turned white, then the priest shall shut him up, and he that hath the plague 7 days. And the priest shall look upon him on the 7th day, and behold, if the plague in thy sight be at stay, the plague spread not in the skin, then the priest shall shut him up 7 days more. And the priest shall look on him again the 7th day, and behold, if the plague become somewhat dark, and the plague not spread in the skin, the priest shall pronounce him clean, but it is a scab. Okay, so what's being said here is that the priest is going to look upon him 7 days upon whatever it is, whether it's a scab or the plague of leprosy, right? So now he's going to give him 7 days, and then 7 days, because of 7 days it means completion, right? So 7 days he will let this man be put away, right? And he'll check it out and see if it's spread or not, because the vitiligo that Esau so calls it, but leprosy is going to spread. Okay, so if it doesn't spread, then he's not. If it does not spread within those 2 weeks, then he considered that a scab. But if it spreads, then it will be considered the plague of leprosy. Okay, right? Because that's why it says right here in 6, right? And the priest shall look upon him the 7th day, and behold, if the plague be somewhat dark. So that means that it's returning back to his own skin color, right? And the plague spread not up in the skin, the priest shall pronounce him clean, right? Because it's not the plague of leprosy, because it turned back dark, right? But it is a scab, so it will be considered a scab, right? He shall wash his clothes and be clean, but if the scab spread much abroad in the skin, after that he had been seen of the priest for his cleansing, he shall be seen of the priest again. And if the priest see that, behold, the scab spreadeth in the skin, then the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is a leprosy. So all of those spots, these spots right here, so that's what he's looking, that's what the priest will be looking for. That's what Aaron will be looking for, right? Now, because over those 2 weeks, he's looking for it to either spread or to turn back dark. If it turns dark, it's not the plague of leprosy. It's a scab. But if it spreads, then it is the plague of leprosy, man. Okay? Right? Okay? Or here. Let me go to this vitiligo. Yeah, it's just like this, man. You know, so, like, let's take well, we could take this guy's hands, man. All right, so if you can see that now, if he's got that, now this guy's definitely he's leprous, man. It's fucked, okay. But if Aaron looks up on him and says, okay, we see what we'll consider a scab for right now, because we don't know. I'll put you away for 7 days. Now, we'll see within that 7 days if it turns back dark. So if it turns back dark to his original color, you know, to his original melanation, you know, then it's considered a scab. But if it spreads and continues to spread, then it's leprosy, man. You know, just to give you kind of an idea. All right. Verse 9. When the plague of leprosy is in a man, then he shall be brought unto the priest, and the priest shall see him, and behold, if the rising be white in the skin, and it hath turned the hair white, and there be a quick raw flesh in the rising, it is an old leprosy in the skin of his flesh, and the priest shall pronounce him unclean, and shall not shut him up, for he is unclean. If a leprosy break out abroad the skin, and the leprosy covereth all the skin of him that had the plague from his head even to his foot, wheresoever the priest looketh, the priest shall consider, and behold, if the leprosy have covered all his flesh, he shall pronounce him. And if the leprosy have covered all his flesh, he shall pronounce him clean that had the plague. It is all turned white, he is clean. But when a raw flesh appeareth in him, he is unclean, and the priest shall see the raw flesh and pronounce him to be unclean. For the raw flesh is unclean, it is a leprosy. Or if the raw flesh be turned again and be changed to white, he shall come into the priest, and the priest shall see him, and behold, if the plague be turned into white, the priest shall pronounce him clean that had the plague. He is clean, right? Oh, and if the flesh is in, well, no, you really get the point, you know? You really get the point. Yeah. Yeah, this here is a leprosy, man. All of this is a leprosy. And God's covering his face. God. Yeah, that's leprous, man. That's what that is. Oh, you see that? If the hair be turned white, you see? You see? Yeah. You see that? If the hair be turned white. Like it said up here. Let me see. Right here. All right. If the bright spot be white in the skin of his flesh, and in sight be not deeper than the skin, and the hair thereof be not turned white, then the priest has shut him up to have the plague 7 days, right? And the priest shall look upon him the 7th day, and if the plague in his sight be at a stay, and the plague spread not in the skin, then the priest shall shut him up 7 days more, and the priest shall look upon him again the 7th day, and behold, if the plague be somewhat dark, and if the plague spread not amongst the skin, the priest shall pronounce him clean, but it is a scab, he shall wash his clothes and be clean, right? But pronouncing to, right, and the hair thereof be turned not white. All right, oh, I wanted 3 actually, Salakia. And the priest shall look upon the plague of the skin and the flesh when the hair in the plague is turned white, right? Look at this guy. Perfect example. See that? The hair is turned white. Right? The plague in the sight be deeper of his flesh. It is a plague of leprosy, and the priest shall look on him and pronounce him unclean. So this guy here is done, man. He's unclean, bro. Yeah, this guy here is unclean. His hair is turned white, and you can see his shit spread everywhere. Right? Okay. Now we go to Genesis 4 and 9. All right. So, you know, contrary to popular belief, Cain, when he killed his brother, you know, he was banished from the earth, man. Let's get into it. All right, this is Genesis 4 and 9. All right, then the Lord said unto Cain, where is Abel thy brother? And he said, I know not. Am I my brother's keeper? And he said, what hast thou done? The voice of thy brother's blood cried unto me from the ground. Now thou art cursed from the earth. Now, how is he cursed from the earth? Because man is made from the dust of the earth, as it says right here in 2 and 7. All right. But there went up a mist from the earth and watered the whole face of the ground. Verse 7, this is the point. All right. And Yahweh formed man of the dust of the ground. Okay. And breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul. Right? Right? You see that? Okay. Oh, come on now. All right. So now right here in 11, when it says thou art cursed from the earth, what did the Lord do? He took his melanin. He took his melanin, man. Okay. All right, and now thou art cursed from the earth, which hath opened up her mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thy hand. When thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto her strength. A fugitive and a vagabond shall thou be in the earth. All right, and he's going to be a fugitive and a vagabond because everybody that sees him will be like, man, what the fuck wrong with this guy, man? You know, it's all melanated folks, man. You see a so-called white man walking around back then, man, what the fuck? He got to go. There's something wrong with him. That's why Cain said this. All right. And Cain said unto Yahweh, my punishment is greater than I can bear. Behold, thou hast driven me out this day from the face of the earth. All right? Why? Because he doesn't have melanin, man. You know, when you look at dirt, at mud, you know, it's brown, man. You know, even sand is brown, man. You know? So, behold, thou hast driven me out this day from the face of the earth, and from thy face shall I be hid, and I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond. And it shall come to pass that everyone that findeth me shall slay me, because everybody that sees that man is gonna want to kill his ass, man. Cause it's something. He's all white now. I'm like, man, what the fuck is wrong with this guy, man? You know, the hell he got going on? He's wild. Yeah, so shit, they gonna try and kill him. You got to get up out of here, you know? Alright. Let's see. Now we go to Exodus 4 and 1. Alright? Okay. Now, check this out. This is Moses. This is Exodus 4 and 1. Now, this is where Moses was dealing with the Lord at the the Lord was dealing with Moses at the burning bush, right? And he said, put your hand in thy bosom. So that's putting your hand inside of your shirt, right? So now, when you put your hand inside of your shirt, he brings it back out. It's leprous, and it says as leprous as white as snow, bro. All right, dig it. All right, so here we go. Exodus 4 and 1. And Moses answered and said, but behold, they will not believe me nor hearken unto my voice, for they will say, Yahweh hath not appeared unto thee. This is when the Lord is telling Moses to go get the children of Israel from Egypt, right? Verse 2. And Yahweh said unto him, what is in thine hand? And he said, a rod. And he said, cast it on the ground. And he cast it on the ground, and it became a serpent, and Moses fled from before it. So Moses took flight. He ran. Bro, he ran, bro. He just turned a walking stick or a shepherd's rod into a snake, man. You know? That's how you know that's a Jake, man. Esau is a man in the field. He gonna try and pick up the snake, man. He gonna be excited by it. You know? You know, Jake gonna take flight, man. Jake is gonna run. Alright. Verse 4. And Yahweh said unto Moses, put forth thine hand, and take it by the tail. And he put forth his hand and caught it, and it became a rod in his hand. All right. That they may believe that Yahweh thy power of their fathers, the power of Abraham, the power of Isaac, and the power of Jacob hath appeared unto thee. All right. And furthermore, Salakim, and Yahweh said furthermore unto him, now put thy hand into thy bosom. That's putting your hand inside of your shirt. Okay. And when he put his hand inside of his bosom, and when he took it out, behold, his hand was leprous as snow. That's how you know that Moses was a melanated man. And once again, man, about that, man, if the Israelites were not melanated people, then how you can't turn white into white. You know, you can't turn. Man, Moses was a man of color, man. So you know that those small hats over there, they are not the true Israelites, man. They are the Jewish. Ish meanings pertaining to. Esau does not have a history. He has nothing. He has Caucasus Mountains, Georgia. You know? Alright? And the Lord said furthermore unto him, now put thy hand into thy bosom. And he put his hand into thy bosom, and when he took it out, behold, his hand was leprous as snow. Right? So here, look. Vitiligo, hands. Well, I mean, you can get the picture. You know what I'm saying? Like Moses was a dark man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, imagine this, but all the way leprous. You know what I'm saying? All the way vitiligoed out. Right? Right? So you can catch the drift. Moses is a dark man. You know, he put his hand inside of his shirt. He brings his hand outside of his shirt, and it looked like this. Okay, but all leprous. You know, right? So so that's how you see. You know, so that leprosy is a curse, man. It's a plague. Okay. All right. Verse 7, and he said, put thy hand into thy bosom again. And he put his hand into thy bosom again and plucked it out of his bosom, or he took it out of his shirt, all right, and or his robe, whatever he may have had on. And behold, it was turned again as his other flesh. You see that? It was turned again as his other flesh, meaning his regularly melanated flesh. So for all of my melanated folks out there, I mean, imagine putting your hand into your shirt, you taking it out, your hand is white. Your hand is all white, man. You put it back into your shirt and bring it back out. The Lord that made it to your original melanation, man. You know. Yeah. He gave him he gave him leprosy, man, and then took it back in the snap of a finger, man. In the blink of an eye. Okay. Now we go to Numbers 12 and 1. All right. Oh, my bad. Read Passover. 12 and 1. All right. So Miriam had spoke against Moses because he married Ethiopian woman, all right, and let's check out what the Lord done to her, all right. And Miriam and Aaron spoke against, and this is Numbers 12 and 1, Salakim. And Miriam and Aaron spake against Moses because of the Ethiopian woman whom he had married, for he had married an Ethiopian woman. And they said, had the Lord indeed spoken only by Moses? Hath he not spoken also by us? And the Lord, I'm gonna actually read this in the NLT. All right. While they were at Hazeroth, Miriam and Aaron criticized Moses because he had married a Cushite woman. They said, has the Lord spoken only through Moses? Hasn't he spoken through us too? But the Lord heard them. Now Moses was very humble, more humble than any other person in the earth. So immediately the Lord called Moses, Aaron, and Miriam, saying, go out to the tabernacle, all three of you. So the three of them went out to the tabernacle, and the Lord and Yahweh descended in the pillar of a cloud and stood at the entrance of the tabernacle. Aaron and Miriam he called, and they stepped forward, and the Lord said unto them, now listen to what I say. If there were prophets among you, I Yahweh will reveal myself in visions. I would speak to them in dreams, but not with my servant Moses. Of all my house, he is the one I trust. I speak to him face to face, clearly, not in riddles. Damn. He sees the Lord. He sees Yahweh as he is. So why were you not afraid to criticize my servant Moses? Damn. Lord telling them, man, I deal with Moses directly. You're not scared you're not scared to say something to this man? All right. Yahweh was very angry with them, and he departed. As the cloud moved from the tabernacle, there stood Miriam, her skin as white as snow from leprosy. Okay? So he turned Miriam into leprous. Alright? He turned Miriam into leprous for going against Moses about having a Ethiopian woman. Okay? Lord says, don't say nothing to that man. Alright? Okay? He cried out to Moses, oh my master, please don't punish us for this sin we have so foolishly committed. Don't let her be like a stillborn baby already decayed at birth. Damn. Damn. That's tough, man. Alright. So Moses cried out to Yahweh "O power, I beg you, please heal her." But the Lord said to Moses, "If her father had done nothing more than spit in her face, wouldn't she be defiled for 7 days? So keep her outside the camp for 7 days, so that she may be accepted back." All right. So they had her away from everyone for 7 days, right? So Miriam was kept outside the camp for 7 days, and the people waited until she was brought back before they traveled again. Then they left Hazeroth and camped in the wilderness of Paran. So that's all I got. You know, I mean, I could go into Genesis 25 and 23 and show you Esau, you know, but I'm not gonna do that. You know, but this is the plague of leprosy. And Shalom.